People who work at a sandwich place. What is the strangest order you've ever had from a customer? This one guy used to come into my sub shop at least twice a week. Always ordered a steak and cheese with extra ketchup. Except you couldn't put enough ketchup on it. We could use over half a bottle, and he would still come back and ask for the bottle because packets took too much time. My town had a lot of foreign exchange students from South Korea, and they would always order the meatball subs with scoops of seafood sensation, which was just mayo and imitation crab. Then have it toasted. It smelled horrible. Also had a guy that could barely talk, he was so high, wanted every sauce on his chicken bacon ranch. It was more soup by the end. Then he gets to the register and he remembers he doesn't have any money and walks away. My manager actually asked anyone if they wanted it. Worked the night shift for Subway during college. Had a regular come in at 3 a.m. Usually that would request that we toast the out of his sandwich. I'm talking the whole thing was basically charcoal. First time he came in while I was on shift, I pulled his sandwich out of the toaster and he told me to put it back in, and again, and again. I thought he was a drunk guy f***ing with me. Apparently he really liked the taste of burnt everything. Grossed me out, but as long as he paid, I didn't really care. Damn, this reminds me of an asshole that would always order 2-foot-long flatbread sandwiches right before we officially closed. He demanded that we toast each sandwich separately for 8 minutes, with all of the veggies on it. If someone tried to toast them together, he refused to accept it and insisted we start over. There was never a manager for the closing shift, so this just liked to bully whoever was working. Oh, and then the extra regular mayo and sriracha. I think he wanted to know what a dumpster fire tasted like. Worked at a Subway and a guy ordered a meatball sub. No sauce, but with copious amounts of vinegar. Also worked at Sonic and had multiple times where a lady ordered tomato sandwiches. Just tomatoes and a bun. Don't work there anymore, but the one order that sticks in my mind above everything else was one time a guy came in on the phone to order 2 sandwiches and he explained one was for his 7-month pregnant wife, so to please make it right. He has a list of exactly what she wants, so I made it exactly how it was written down. Then made his, and he paid, and all was good in the world. Then maybe 10 minutes later the phone rings and I answer it, and there's this woman on the phone just screaming at me, telling me I made her sandwich wrong, and how she wanted ranch instead of mayo, and blah blah, and that she would send her husband in to get it remade. You know, full Karen minus the let me speak to the manager bit. So the guy comes back in and I immediately recognize him, and he's apologizing profusely, explaining that his wife is pregnant and hormones and whatnot. And I assured him I've been yelled at for less, it's no big deal, I'll remake it at no charge. He has the offending sandwich. I remake it right and throw the old one away. And as I'm ringing up the order, even though it was free, it still had to be rung up at $0 for bread count accuracy, the phone rings. So I hand the man his sandwich and answer the phone, and there is this woman on the phone hysterically crying on the other end. And so I ask if she's alright, and she informs me that she called earlier and she felt horrible about yelling at me because she realized she wrote it down wrong, and it wasn't my fault. And the whole time I'm just awkwardly telling her that it's okay, no big deal, we got it taken care of. You're okay, don't worry about it, it's no big deal. And then she, still sobbing, asked me straight up, do you forgive me? And I said, it's all good, no worries. And she said, no, do you forgive me? And I said, yeah, don't worry about it. And she asked again, but do you forgive me? And I replied, yes, I forgive you. Have a great night, ma'am. After which she hung up. I still remember that even 7 years later because it was the only time I've ever had a customer call back not only to apologize, but crying about it as well. Ironically for the question, I don't actually remember what the specific sandwich was. I want to say it was an oven roasted chicken breast, but I truly am just taking a shot in the dark. What can I get for you? I'll get a 6-inch honey wheat, just condiments. Just condiments? Just condiments. All of them if you don't mind. That day ruled. Used to have a guy come in regularly to order a foot long on white, double mayo, salt, pepper. He then sat in the lobby and ate the whole thing. I used to work at McDonald's. We had a regular customer who wanted a plain quarter pounder, no bun, extra, 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 extra pickles. Basically just a quarter-pound beef patty with like a half cup of pickle slices on top of it. Dude was on that keto status. We got a lot of no bun orders from people like this. It was the fact that there was more pickle than beef that threw me off. Was getting breakfast at this place called the Great Canadian Bagel Company. The girl ahead of us gets a breakfast sandwich with extra mayo and then says, like a serious amount of mayo, more than you think is comfortable. The guy does a solid 4 servings and she shakes her head in disgust, shame, and is like, no, I'm actually messed up. I need more mayo. Took everything in me not to laugh as it happened. At least she knew she had a problem. Her feeling her own diagnosed shame about it was quite an experience to see. Not an order, but my boyfriend had a customer come in with a Kermit the Frog puppet. The customer spoke through the puppet, had my boyfriend hand the change to the puppet, and also slide the sandwich to the puppet. I guess whatever you can do to cope with the world. Worked at a pizza place for like 5 minutes during uni. Guy used to come in and order a calzone stuffed with just ketchup. No cheese, no actual tomato sauce. I'd assume this is why you quit. My daughter went through a phase where her favorite dessert was ketchup sandwich. My daughter used to make mustard sandwiches, then she decided that was too much trouble and just ate the mustard straight. Worked at Subway. This 50-year-old trucker asked me to toast a tuna sandwich, put extra pickles, and sprinkle 2 Splenda packages on top. That was all the sandwich had. My dad puts grape jelly on his tuna sandwiches. I worked at a Subway a long time ago, and a guy would order 2 full bags of lettuce on a sandwich every day. Imagine 2 pounds of lettuce on some bread. He would order often enough that I knew to go in the back and grab 2 full bags just for him. Did he eat it there? Sounds like he found a low-key way to get Subway to give him prepped lettuce on the cheap. Haha, I never did see him eat it there. I had to cut extra holes in Swiss cheese for an 8-year-old. Been the strangest request since we opened in 2007. The fact that you didn't makes you a much nicer person than I am. I worked at Subway many years ago. There was a couple that would come in semi-regularly and she wanted just a double helping of American cheese on white bread. No veggies, no condiments, just cheese. I never charged her for the extra cheese since I figured the veggies she wasn't getting offset it. Eventually she started asking for more and more cheese until it was easily 10 times what came on it. She must have been bummed when I quit. That cheese sandwich probably would have cost about $10 if someone who gave a shit rang it up. I was at a Subway last month and waited in line behind an older guy who ordered 2 of that exact cheese sandwich. Not even toasted, just cold cheese on plain bread. The sandwich artist looked confused and kept asking if he was sure, and the guy kept saying, yes, that's what she wants, I'm sorry, LOL. Blame it on someone non-existent. Sounds about right. Used to work in a deli that also made some simple breakfast items in the mornings. One day a lady ordered a Western omelet, hold the eggs. I had specified 3 times that she did not want any eggs in the omelet. We made her a salad of diced ham, onions, green bell peppers with salsa, and she seemed pleased with this. At McDonald's, a guy came in and said he had lost a bet, and as a result had to order a double cheeseburger with 17 extra patties and bacon and cheese between each patty. I don't remember how much it cost, but we had to tape several wrappers together just to cover it up and keep it sort of together. I think we gave him a knife and fork to eat it with. Not a Subway employee, but I was behind the guy that got what amounted to a sandwich worth of olives on a sandwich. He kept asking for more and put what I think was the whole bin in there. Worked at Subway and had a customer ask me for guacamole. She insisted I give her the guac without avocados. I explained there's no such thing. Then she pulled a Karen and asked for the manager. The manager explained what we all already know. The lady got louder and pointed at a pic on her phone she took last time she ordered it. The picture was a pico de gallo. That, ladies and gents, was her avocado-free guacamole. I took great joy explaining guac and pico de gallo to Karen of Subway and why they made two words to describe two different items. Face palm level, infinite. I worked at Jimmy John's and someone wanted a tuna sandwich with barbecue on it. Sounded gross and we didn't have barbecue anyway. Later we randomly tried adding barbecue chips on top of tuna sub just to see what it was like. It was bomb. It's not my go-to order. I still haven't tried actual barbecue sauce, but now I understand the flavor combo at least. Due to the high volume of comments, I felt compelled to order JJ's this afternoon. Tuna sandwich with lettuce, a little oil and vinegar, bacon, pickles, barbecue chips to put on it, and some kicking ranch. This is all y'all's fault. This is my time. So after my 3 years at Subway, this is the wildest sandwich I've seen. So this guy got a meatball sub, which is disgusting in the first place if you ever worked at Subway. Then he continued to ask for numerous veggies. That's not too strange, people do that sometimes. Then he asked for like 4 different sauces on it. And here's the kicker. He asked for 2 chocolate chip cookies crumbled onto it. Chocolate chip cookies on a meatball sub with a load of veggies and a disgusting combination of sauces. So this is my coworker who made it, and my regional manager was also in the store at the time. The manager continued to use him as an example in the regional group chat, as my coworker didn't question it at all, which is extremely impressive to me. I've rambled on for too long, but I've got a bajillion Subway stories if anyone wants to hear more. I used to work at a Subway that was not corporate owned. This means we didn't have to follow the portions required by corporate owned stores. Some kid came in with his mom and he asked for a 6-inch sandwich on white bread with mayo and a handful of olives. I asked him, "Are you sure?" He quickly replied, "Uh-huh." So I grabbed the biggest handful I could and plopped it on the sandwich. Best part is his mom's jaw dropped, and when she paid, she said, "I can't believe you actually did that. No other store has ever actually done that." That one order made my entire night. LOL. Worked at a barbecue place that mostly sold sandwiches. I worked the call ahead phones for a while, and we had a customer call up and ask us if we could put the entire sandwich combo, sides and all, through a blender. Poor guy had jaw surgery and hadn't eaten anything but fruit smoothies for almost a month. We didn't even own a blender, but this was one of those never say no to the customer places, and I could literally get written up for refusing a request. I got my manager on the line who tried his best to explain exactly how grotesque his order was, but the guy wouldn't budge. Long story short, we bought a blender. Wasn't working there, but was a fellow customer. Person stared at the menu for 2 minutes, then asked the Subway sandwich artist what the difference between the chicken and turkey was. The person responded very dryly, "Well, one is chicken and one is turkey." The customer nodded and said, "I'll have the turkey then." I had to walk out of the store, I was laughing so hard. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell for more videos.